What illegal thing do you do on a regular basis? Part 1. When I was a kid, I thought it was normal that we could buy movies the day after they came out from the Chinese lady in the chicken shop. I didn't realize it was a crime until middle school when I told someone my grandma had Avatar on DVD, and they said that was impossible since the movie was still in theaters. 2. During football season, I provide verbal accounts of the game without consent of the NFL. 3. When I was in college, parking was $500 a semester, which I couldn't afford. I simply went to class each day until I got a parking ticket. I went online, paid the $50 fine, but kept the ticket. Every time I would park on campus, I would toss the ticket out onto my windshield so that the parking police thought I was already ticketed. This worked for 2 years. $1,000 worth of parking for $100, and then I came out of class one day to find 2 tickets and a note that said, "Nice try." 4. I illegally jaywalk all the time. I just can't resist the thrill of crossing the street wherever I please. 5. I cut my own hair in my house, but I'm not registered as a hairdresser under the 1939 Hairdressers Act. 6. Downloading music through YouTube to MP3. 7. I buy organic veggies and ring them up as non-organic in self-checkout. 8. In The Sims, I use cheat codes like Kaching or Rosebud to avoid financial struggles for my family or character. 9. Hiding snacks in my jacket at the movies. 10. When I was younger, my sister and I were driving down the road when we saw a roadkill raccoon. We decided to pull over to see if it was still alive. It wasn't, but it had a baby raccoon trying to cuddle up to it. We felt bad and took him in. He lived with us for about 14 years until he passed away. Apparently, it's illegal to own a raccoon without a license, but raccoons only live for around 3 years in the wild. So I like to think we gave him a pretty good life for an orphan raccoon, regardless of it being illegal. We live in a small town and regularly took him on walks to the park and stuff. He loved people and sat on my shoulder while I was on a 4th of July parade float. R.I.P. Bandit. 11. I don't always come to a complete stop at a stop sign. 12. In '94, I had an '87 Toyota Celica in black. It was a really nice car when I bought it, but it had a missing hubcap. Not knowing where to get a replacement, I stole a hubcap from another Celica in my neighborhood. I was dumb and 17 years old. I drove that car for 2 years until I got into an accident. Since I no longer needed the hubcap, I put it back on the car I stole it from 2 years earlier. I always wondered what the owner thought about it.